What's up? Another day with the van. Today's a little bit warmer. I took yesterday off. It was just a little bit too cold and nasty, and I wasn't really sure exactly how to go about getting this thing out. So I've heard several different, well, some of my friends were telling me different things. One of them being to take it out through that door. So essentially we would be coming over here, take this seat out, stick the boom right there, squiggle her on out. So that is one way to do it. This, I don't know, I got enough room probably. It just is this, it doesn't seem like that much fun, but I might go ahead and do that anyway. The other way that I was thinking is cut this here. I think there's some hosing, maybe water lines or something goes under there, but anyway, cut this out, give me a little bit more room, take the old seats out, and then that might help some too. So if I can get the transmission out with it, I'll get the transmission out with it. Hopefully I can. So not a ton of room down through there. You might be able to see. This is stuck on, so the bolts I almost can't get to. They are seized on. The one broke off. I'll show you that right now. Yeah, where is it at? Oh, can't see it. Oh, I'm sorry, that was on this. Yeah, so that one was broke. This one, I just can't get those bolts off. Now I remember. So my other thought was to drop this cross member down, disconnect all of the front end components and just drop it down. And then I can pull the transmission cross member, just unbolt that, and the whole thing hopefully would just come right on down. But let's see, I can't get that off right now. There's not a ton of room, so I may have to pull the valve covers. Might be Sawzall time. So anyway, that's where we're at today. So I'm not going to freeze to death laying on the floor, which is nice. So yesterday that was super cold out and windy, so I couldn't have made any videos anyhow. But that's where we're at, so I don't know which way I'm going to go yet. Oh, I did get this super sweet radio out of here. Check it out. I got a mouse nest in there, but man, talk about a sweet stereo. Where did I put it? Check this beast out. Oh yeah. The XD Vision. XD103. You wouldn't even believe how light this thing is. There's nothing in it, so you can't really see very well, but there's no disc player. It's just basically a USB, SD card, and a receiver. That's it. But if you look inside, you can't. I can barely see it even with light, but there's just nothing there. It's just a circuit board in the front. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like that. So, who knows what that thing will end up in. Probably nothing, but if you ever needed a radio in a pinch, that's the one. So again, these are seized. Those are all seized. That motor mount, I gotta pull the fuel pump off to get to, but I'm pretty sure that's rusted on there. The transmission cross member is rusted on there. Had some type of a leak. Probably looks like maybe I don't know, exhaust. Like that exhaust manifold's nice and clean for how greasy the engine is. So I don't know. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet. Might just Sawzall these right off on both sides. Take the power steering box off of it. Just cut the rest of the stuff, and then cut this right off. Zack, zack, and then maybe this thing will just roll right on out. So if I cut it here, take the sway bar off, cut it there, drop it down, zoom. That's the idea. That's the idea anyway, so we'll see how it turns out. I'll try to take you along for some of the rides, so let's get to it. So I remember promising you guys this incredible exhaust job. So now it's time to show you. So there's the weight reduction. That's why she's not going to be ever back on the road again. Pretty much like that all through the whole thing. Check that out. Pretty amazing, right? It even has the coat hanger. So it's legit done right when it's got a coat hanger on it. No one's messing around. Looks like I've got some pretty decent heater hose. And just a ton of hose clamps. Someone must have like worked at a hose clamp factory or something, because they're just everywhere on here. I'll probably have like $15 worth of hose clamps by the time I'm done. So we're gonna try to zip this thing off right down in there, back here, get that out of the way, and just start trying to pull stuff apart. Most of it I think I just got to hit with a hammer good and it'll just fall off. But there are other things like the suspension parts and whatnot that are just rusted to the point that I don't think I could even get them out. So I'll have to break out the torch and get some gas flowing on them. Oops. So that I promised you, I think I did anyway. I'm showing you the what you call it, exhaust. So there you go. Professional job. Well, how yellow that light is. I never even noticed it. Thing is old. It's probably from the 90s. Anywho, you can see it right down there. I'm gonna get cutting this crap off and hopefully make some progress today. So I'll come back and see you a little bit later on when I make some progress. If I get into something cool and I've got a spot to put the camera, I might do like a time-lapse thing, but we'll just have to see if I end up wasting half the day just fighting on bolts or not. So we'll see. All right, see you in a bit. Welcome back. It is nighttime now. It is about, I don't know, I think it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock again. And I've made a little bit of progress on the van. It's getting light. Oh, my batteries are getting low. So a little bit of progress. Mostly dumping power steering fluid all over the place. That sucks. What did I do? It's hard to remember exactly what you might have saw. Let me shut the air compressor off so that doesn't end up popping on for us. So I don't know what you might have saw earlier. I can't really remember, but I did get the AC stuff off of it. Excuse me. Just a bunch of lines, heater lines and stuff. Had to fix my impact because that broke. It's getting old. She's super old. Just like a lot of little odds and ends. There was no Freon in this or refrigerant, so don't worry about the AC stuff. I didn't bleed anything off into the atmosphere. It was already all just ran out, broken somewhere. Who knows where the crack is or the leak or whatever it is. So yeah, nothing in that line. Got everything off. Kind of thinking that I'm gonna take the front end down, just drop all the parts off of it and see if I can drop the front end cross member. I don't think it's called a K-frame on a van, but if I can drop this down, hopefully the engine will come down with it, and that might be a plan. I cut the exhaust off of it, so got that done, got it up on some jack stands. Oddly enough, I've never had an issue with that jack before. It's always done a great job, like lifting up the front of the van, no big deal. Like avalanches, every truck I've ever used that jack on, no problem. But it didn't like picking the back of this van up at all, and I don't know why. Doesn't seem like there'd be that much weight back there, but apparently there is. It hated it. So got it up, got the exhaust cut off, got to scavenge up all my awesome bands. Those look like they're stainless too. Those are expensive. Pulled down the transmission support. There's only one bolt holding it on. Ugh. So those actually came out surprisingly well. There's one bolt, the top one on the back side. I got that one to take off. This E-coat or whatever coating is on this particular, I don't know, whatever support. Looks like I can sandblast that right off, so you can see the scale, it flaking off. The metal underneath seems solid, so I think I can throw that in the blaster and it'll come back pretty good. I don't know what on this I will have to end up maybe using on my truck, because when I put the 4-speed in it, I think that the cross member, the support, got cut. I bought one from a junkyard, and I think that they cut it, but it's a while back, so I don't know. Anywho, the plan right now is to try to drop as much suspension off of this, since the bolts are so rusty. You can see they're just so bad, and they've been such a pain in the butt today to get any of the bolts off. They've just been breaking. I don't really want to struggle with them, and that oxy propane kit that I've got, it doesn't really get super hot, so whatever I can drop down or cut off, I'm gonna go that route, and then see if I can just, you know, drop the whole front end and the engine and trans with it. That should be a trick to do it lone wolf style, but we'll see. Maybe I'll call in a buddy. But you can see the state of everything. It's just kind of just falling apart. All the bolts are seized in or rusted shut, or the threads are totally wasted. It's bare. It's no fun to try to get that out. But look at them discs. Shucks, some things are in good shape. You can see just how bad everything is. It's rough, and yeah, it's no fun trying to get those off. So let's see inside. I'll show you what I did in here. Got a GM carb on this thing. I don't know if that's factory or not. I don't remember. I don't think I've ever bought a Mopar that had one of those on it, but I'm not sure. Let's take a look inside. I'll show you what the rockers look like. Hopefully you can see that. They're nice and clean. Looks like it's brand new down inside of there. Here, maybe not so much, but over in there, man, looks great. They literally look like they're brand new. So yeah, water pump, I think I mean, it works, but obviously don't want to be using that again. There is so much emissions junk on here. It's like a total spider web of just vacuum lines and you name it. What a mess. So thankfully all of that'll go. I think that this manifold is, obviously the manifold's crap, so I'll get like an air gap for that, some new well, get some headers for it, get some new manifolds, get rid of all that crap. I don't know what heads are on it. I don't know anything that's on this thing. I don't know where the casting number is on this right now. Can't see anything at the moment, so I think it's underneath this manifold. So hopefully I can get a peek at it and see what year this engine is. So the deal is that if I'm correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on this, but I think in 89 is the first year that they started using the roller cams in the 360s. I know that they used them in passenger cars earlier on the Mopar stuff, but I don't remember the dates, and I could be wrong with all of this information. It's just what I think I can remember. Being as though this is an 88, from the factory it shouldn't have a roller cam in it, I don't believe. Where this engine is rebuilt. It's that remanufactured engine, in case you didn't catch it last time. Let's see, there we go. That's that remanufactured tag that I pulled off of the front. It's like right under the head right there. So, being that it's a reman and it's from '96, maybe there's a chance that they used one of the earlier, or the later engines, and it might have a roller cam. Roller cam's ideal. I'd rather have that, obviously, but I don't know. So if you know for, like, I don't know, a fact, or if you've heard stories or whatever about how they used, you know, what cores they got for remanufactured engines, I'd love to hear the stories about it. So leave a comment down below and let me know what your experience or your knowledge is about those remanufactured engines, because I'm really curious to know what I got in there. So other than that, got the oxypropane kit. I don't know if I mentioned this. I might have. Can't keep it all straight. It's like 10 something at night now. I got this from my uncle, and he sold it to me with cracked and damaged lines. That was nice of him. That was a year ago, 2 years ago. And then I had these hoses just sitting around, the whole new kit from Harbor Freight, just sitting around in a box. The box. So put that on. Had to cut off the tie rod, or not the tie. I had to cut off the sway bar links. So I did have to torch the sway bar links off of it. Where are they at? There's one right down in there. See, molten metal. So torched those off. Made a nice little fire, but no big deal. Got rid of those. All these bolts and stuff, man, it is just in such rough shape. I don't know what the best route to go is. So for tonight, I'm going to call it. I don't know if I'm going to try to pull the engine through the door, if I'm going to drop the whole front end down. I don't know if I'll call one of my buddies. I mean, it's this whole Corona thing and, you know, social distancing and quarantine, all that. I really got to kind of just try to pull this off myself. My buddy has been quarantined as well, so I don't really know if he's quarantined and I'm quarantined and everybody's quarantined, if that matters or not. I don't know, but I'm gonna try to still lone wolf this thing as much as possible. And yeah, so that's the update for tonight, and I'm tired and going to bed. So thanks for hanging out in the half-assed garage, and hopefully make some big moves tomorrow. We'll see. It's supposed to pour down rain, so if it's going to rain crazy, I'm not going to film in here much, because this building is just essentially a horse barn. That horse isn't with us anymore. I converted it into my little makeshift shop, and when it rains, it is insane in here. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. But until then, thanks for watching and hanging out with me, and we'll catch you at the next episode or whatever. A tone loc or something, I think so. See ya.